Good evening and welcome to the kitchen table on Radio Fodder. Or should I say good afternoon, because our time slot has changed and we now broadcast in the afternoon. My name's Eva and I'm hosting the show with Hugo. We're back after a little hiatus and you'll hear more from us soon, but we're going to begin tonight by acknowledging the Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which this program is being broadcast, and pay respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We recognise First Nations peoples as the first storytellers, poets, and artists to practice on this land, and intend for tonight's program to continue respectfully in that tradition. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
Hey Eva.
Hello Hugo, long time no see.
Oh, it's so nice to be back in the studio with you.
We haven't sat down at this metaphorical table for a good more than 6 months.
I know, the listeners out there, they better know the food on the kitchen table is real.
Yeah, it's real. Oh my gosh. There was a post from our managers.
You don't even know. This food is beyond imagination. You're lucky you can't see it because it would blow your eyes out.
This food is so delicious. Anyway. We're back.
We're back. And this week's episode is all about being back.
In fact, that's all we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Hugo and I have been so busy preparing this episode behind the scenes that we actually haven't had time to catch up. So that's what we're going to be doing
yeah, absolutely.
on air in the way we always do on this show, which is by sharing music.
Yeah, that's actually so fitting. I feel like this might actually be the most authentic episode of the kitchen table to ever be. Yeah.
Except we don't actually have food here today.
Shh. Anyway, being the kitchen table, and I'm like reminding myself like we're not talking about tonight, it's this afternoon, but it's like a metaphorical tonight, like you said. This afternoon, we are having some dinner.
We are.
And this one is a recipe that only quite recently has become like immediate favorite, top of the list.
And it's popular with everybody.
Yeah.
Let's tell the story. It's
Absolutely.
an ottolenghi stew, but it's kind of my take on it.
But
so everyone has a take on it. It's so much more than just an ottolenghi stew. I discovered it a few months ago when I was craving eggplant and I think pine nuts and lentils, and I thought, how can I combine these? And I just Googled it with ottolenghi and it came up with a stew and it was delightful.
I love that like immediate co-word, just like as a keyword, you just take any kind of list of ingredients and then just like put ottolenghi on the end.
You're
and,
bound to find
you have
something.
Like delicious. That's kind of like stand-in for make me delicious food.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can probably type that into ChatGPT if you just said kind of like eggplant, pine nut, ottolenghi, just those 3 words, and it would probably tell you what to do.
Oh, amazing.
Anyway, but Google in fact did produce
an actual
a
ottolenghi
fantastic recipe.
And yes, I've made this stew a few times, but I made it for you and Rosa when you came over after you just got back from Vietnam, and I hadn't seen you for ages, so it was very much a stew of
returns
right?
and
reuniting, and we ate this delicious. It's very simple. It's some tarragon, thyme, whatever nice herbs you have, pui lentils, some red wine vinegar, onions, garlic. You've sautéed the eggplant beforehand, and you're just kind of chucking it all in a pot and cook it up as you would any stew with your own instincts. A bit of cumin, a bit of paprika, you know.
I love how stew is somehow instinctual.
It is, though. I feel like the timing of everything in a stew.
Yeah.
And like Henry, my housemate, makes this stew and makes it slightly differently. And then you have also now taken over the making of this stew.
I have, yeah. And I think it's kind of like a collaborative thing here. But like you said, every time somebody makes this, they seem to make it differently.
Because you made it for your birthday recently.
And I can assure you I used almost none of the herbs that you just stated. Tarragon sounds great. Didn't touch it though.
Because who actually owns tarragon?
I'm definitely not going to go to the shop and buy like a $3.50 little plastic container of tarragon.
I found mine on the side of the road.
Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah. Is identifying tarragon challenging? Like, I don't know. No?
If you know, you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never walk past thyme and not realize it was thyme. but I'm not so familiar. Tarragon's a grey area for me. Maybe I'm just like exposing my own
naivety.
My own naivety here. But yeah, like I reckon the key is to sear the absolute hell out of the diced eggplant before it goes in.
Before it gets liquidy.
Yeah. Like I had like a cast iron pan, super, super hot.
Well, I was caramelizing the onion beforehand and taking that out as well, and then doing the eggplant, taking that out, and then doing the lentil component, and then putting those two kind of caramelized, crispy things back in, because then the flavor's richer.
And you said one thing before, which I think is the absolute key ingredient. Which
red wine vinegar.
Yes.
Essential.
I would even just go so far to say vinegar. Like it really, because I didn't put red wine vinegar in. I put balsamic and white vinegar because I didn't have red wine. So I thought, you kind of mix the two, you kind of get something close, or you don't. But, I reckon that acidity just like absolutely makes the dish.
Yeah, it really does.
Beautiful.
Look it up, all of our listeners.
Oh my God, we could just keep talking about this for the whole afternoon.
But we have other things to talk about.
We ought to play some music, hey? Do you want to introduce this next one for us?
Yeah, so I guess very random selection of songs tonight. Things I just wanted to share with Hugo, and kind of music that I was interested in or that I've encountered and that's relevant to new experiences that I want to talk about. And I think one of the key things that I've learned or has happened to me in the last 6 months, Hugo, is that I learned to drive, and then that driving took me interstate, and I can now move fast across our state, and it's all very exciting. But I've also come across some of the annoying parts of driving, such as being in a traffic jam. And I was in a traffic jam the other day, and then I heard this song on the radio called Life is Like a Traffic Jam, which I'm not going to play tonight because I couldn't find it. But I found a song that was very similar called Bang On by the Breeders. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a groovy tune, but it's got this stopping and starting rhythm that really evokes the strange rage of being caught in a suburban traffic jam. And it's by the Breeders, who are a great 90s early pop rock experimental band. And I saw them recently in Melbourne. They were absolutely awesome.
Eva, you did so well there at filling the dead air while I revived the CDJ, not once, but twice from the dead.
Oh my God. Did you manage to?
It's great.
Oh, thank gosh.
And thank you so much for that beautiful intro. Let's place ourselves in the headspace of Traffic Jam and listen to the Breeders.
That was Bang On from the Breeders off their 2008 album Mountain Battles. Just a groovy little tune, which really evokes to me, I don't know, traffic jams, which I think is something, Hugo, you can relate to. I remember when you moved to Melbourne, you and Rosa kept talking about driving around this big city and how much traffic there was. And as someone who grew up here and has just ridden my bike and taken public transport, I was like, get over it, you know.
I only got brave enough to actually drive through Melbourne maybe 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's intense. Just psychologically, because you get trapped on these roads and there's nothing but tarmac and other vehicles around, and the state you're left in is really quite bleak.
You got something as well, the rhythm or beat of that song reminds me of a little fun fact I heard once about a go-between song. Which I can't remember for the life of me now which one it was, but the Story Bridge, which is one of the main bridges in Brisbane, has how they have the expansion joints on the bitumen when it expands and contracts. So when you drive over it, it makes a dunk kind of noise.
Oh, they use that.
Yeah, and they actually there's a specific frequency, and if you drive over the bridge, you'll hear it. You can hear if you're doing the speed limit, you hear the same frequency, and they use that as the rhythm to a song, and that's got the same thing, but it's more traffic jammy.
Yeah, stoppy starty, frustrating. Anyway, the next song I'm going to play is also car related because it took me a long time to get my license, and you heard a lot about that long journey. My poor dad.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks. And the whole point, the urge to get it was so that I could take this trip around Tasmania that I've been wanting to take for a long time, a little solo journey. And a lovely person who I work with was so excited and invested in this journey that when I went, they knew I loved playlists, and they made me this CD playlist, and they burnt these songs onto there, and they drew a beautiful cover, and it was just one of the loveliest gifts. And the next song, another experience of being in a car and being on a long road journey is that you've got 3 or 5 CDs in your glove box, and you're just playing them over and over again. And when you don't have someone in the passenger seat to change them, this one CD I love, but I listened to it so many times and it became a sort of emotional roller coaster. But this first track is just such a mood booster. So I'd go through the whole album and it would get somber and more somber, and then it'd restart with this song, and I'd be like, yeah, back on the road. So anyway, let's hear it. It's Cherry Cherry from Neil Diamond.
New Millennium Entertainment presents The Salmon of Doubt, hitchhiking the galaxy one last time.
Baby loves me, yes, yes she does. All the girls have a side, yeah. Said she loves me, yes, yes she does. Gonna show her tonight, yeah. She got the way to move me, cherry. She got the way to move me. She got the way to move me, cherry, baby. She got the way. Catch up on. You know what I'm saying. Can't stand still while the music is playing. Alright. You ain't got no right, no, you don't. Ought to be so exciting.
That was Cherry Cherry from Neil Diamond, a 1966 release. You're listening to The Kitchen Table on Radio Fodder. It's about 4:20 in the afternoon. And we're going to move on pretty quickly to the next song. It's a man's world from Natasha Atlas. This quite fabulous singer with a very distinctive voice. She blends kind of Western and Middle Eastern vocal traditions and into this really gorgeous. You've probably heard her before. She sounds like the soundtrack to a James Bond dramatic scene. She's born in Brussels of Anglo-Egyptian descent, which is where those kind of vocal influences are coming from. And I'll talk a bit more about why I've chosen this song afterwards, but let's hear it.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. You see, man made the car to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric light to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. Man thinks about a little bitty baby girl and baby boys. Man makes them happy, 'cause man makes them toys. And after a man makes everything he can, you know that man makes money to buy from other men. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't mean nothing, not one little thing, without a woman or a girl. He's lost in the wilderness. He's lost in bitterness. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a
It's a man's world. Natasha Atlas, recorded 2005. So dramatic, so silly in some ways, and perhaps a traditional and limited perception of gender. Sounds like it's sung by some slinkily clad woman who's kind of buoyant in some James Bond scene. But I really love it for some reason.
I'm getting tongue-in-cheek, though. Like, I think that there's some serious satire there.
Yes, and I kind of love the drama and majesty of it, because I came across it in this month that I had over December, January, where I was house sitting for some family friends. And as you know, Hugo, I live in a sort of very on top of each other cluttered share house. And this house I was in was huge and owned by some nice furniture dealers, and with high ceilings and just beautiful lamps and things everywhere. And the space was just full of these deeply provocative silhouettes. And I felt like
Actually, I can kind of picture with like the high ceiling.
Yeah, you saw the place. Yeah. It was a really moody, resonant month for me, because I just felt like I was living in this very reflective, and by myself as well, except for 2 cats who I fed. So it was kind of like being in a pressure cooker for my own thoughts. And this song came and I would just kind of prance down the corridor and down the stairs. But on a more serious note, I think it just, I encountered it while I was also reading this book called Happening by a French author called Annie Ernaux. And I think I was just thinking a lot about women and female experiences, because this book, released in 2001, is about her being 23 in 1963 and having an unwanted pregnancy and the harrowing experience of trying to get an abortion, which she's ultimately successful with, but she just has to grapple with this. If she has this baby, it will make her family and her social failures. And it's an interesting way she tells the story, because she's telling it many years later in a very reflexive style, constantly analysing her own compulsions and resistances to sharing the narrative, and trying to locate the global relevance of something that occurred within her body, her specifically female body. Yeah. And I found it a really interesting narrative, and there are a few key passages that I wanted to share, because that's what we do on this show. We share little bits of literary snippets. So I'm just going to read a few, and I hope they're not too confusing out of context of the whole narrative, but they are quite provocative. So here's one of them. Since secondary school, I had shown a certain talent for juggling with abstract concepts. Although I realised that dissertations and other such university assignments were purely academic, I was proud to excel in this field. I assumed this was the price to pay to live among books, as my parents would say, and to devote my future to these intellectual havens here out of reach. I was wallowing down below now, my body overcome by nausea. One moment I would be longing to regain my powers of reasoning once I had got rid of my problem. The next moment I believed that the knowledge I had acquired was but an artificial structure that had definitively collapsed. And so she's very interested in how her experience of the institution of university and the state kind of meets with this illegal abortion that she had to get that kind of took over her life for a year. And she ultimately resolves what these 2 different abstract parts of her life mean towards the end of the novel, saying, I finish putting into words what I consider to be an extreme human experience, because she does almost die, bearing on life and death, time, law, ethics, and taboo, an experience that sweeps through the body. I have rid myself of the only feeling of guilt in connection with this event, the fact that it happened to me and I have done nothing about it, a sort of discarded gift. Among the social and psychological reasons that may account for my past, of one I am certain. These things happened to me so that I might recount them. Maybe the true purpose of my life is for my body, my sensations, and my thoughts to become writing. In other words, something intelligible and universal, causing my existence to merge into the lives and heads of other people.
Wow. These things happened to me so that I might write them. Wow.
I found that really powerful. And she does zoom out after that, kind of to reflecting on how the body is this center through time, whether it's about women's struggles or queer struggles or struggles over race, identity, refugees. She links it out to this specific example. As I'm writing this, I learn that a bunch of Kosovan refugees are trying to enter Britain illegally via Calais. The smugglers are charging vast sums of money, and some of them disappear before the crossing. Yet nothing will stop the Kosovans or any other poverty-stricken emigrants from fleeing their native country as their sole means of survival. Today, smugglers are vilified and pursued like abortionists were 30 years ago. No one questions the laws and world order that condone their existence. Yet surely among those who traffic in refugees, as among those who once traded in fetuses, there must be some sense of honour. So those are just 3 little really provocative, interesting snippets, and on themes that I think have really held my brain during the last 6 months, and I perhaps want to explore more during the semester when we have some more focused episodes of this show.
Absolutely. I'm fascinated by this reconciling this geographically small contained event, like literally within the body, with something that is like kind of spans
global.
the whole globe. With that kind of that crossing point of those 2 things. Thank you, Eva.
And just to end with one last quote that
Please.
she puts at the start of her book from a man named Michael Lewis. He said, "I wish for 2 things, that happening turned to writing and that writing turned to happening." I think that's a beautiful little bit of circularity.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, okay. You
Good
can put
stuff.
yourself in that little circle and kind
Tag
of
yourself. Where do you sit? Are you the happening or the writing? But
it's like one of those like circular memes.
Oh,
It just
God.
goes around and around.
anyway, those are some updates, some thoughts, some little bits and bobs and musical snippets.
That is excellent as well. Like now I'm going back through the points that I know where you were at, like in the last couple of months, like when I came and visited you at that house, and now I'm imagining you with the soundtrack of like that being you kind of prancing down the corridor, but then also your mind grappling with these immense kind of like just doing this heavy lifting as well.
That's why I kind of like that song, even though it's a bit silly. Something about the drama of it just did feel kind of expansive, and her voice, the way it's blending those Western and Middle Eastern notes, I find really compelling. She's got such a great voice.
Yeah, and there has to be something said about the performativity of that as well. Like I don't know, it's not a fully formed thought, but there's something there about like it is almost so, it's a kind of caricatured, but yeah, again, I'm getting the kind of like there is a satirical aspect, and there's like, I don't know, begging the listener to kind of like think deeper.
Yeah. Hugo, let's move on to you. What's been happening, my dude?
Eva. Well, for the listeners out there, if you've just tuned in recently, you're listening to The Kitchen Table on Radio Fodder. We are returning, and we're talking about returns. It's our return this year for a 3rd season of broadcasting.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to say, folks, if you're listening at home, you want to send a message in to the radio, you're more than welcome to. You can send us a DM on our Instagram at thekitchentable.radio. Hey, look, I'm going to like just totally throw the tone on its head right here. And I feel like it's even better if I just don't talk about it. You can just kind of
do it.
You can just kind of cope with the sound waves as they hit your ears.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy
Happy Birthday. That one by Altered Images. You're listening to The Kitchen Table on Radio Fodder. Oh my goodness. What a fun but like kind of insanely repetitive song.
We were just discussing how eclectic and bizarre our music choices have been.
Yeah, just non sequiturs all afternoon. Let's do it. I guess it is about return. We've got so much to catch up on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really necessarily kind of follow a linear progression.
No.
But that's the fun. That's the fun of it. You're listening to Radio Fodder. It's The Kitchen Table. And I brought that song into the mix there because we're talking about returns, and I kind of linked that with my little personal theme of the phrase, which someone said to me recently because it was my birthday. This person said, "Many happy returns." And I was like, what?
Had you never heard that
I
before?
had heard it before, but like, who says that? Like, it was I for the life of me can't remember who said this to me, but it was someone unusual.
It's probably
me. I think it was like a doctor or someone, but like I wasn't at a doctor's appointment.
Yeah,
it
doctors
was just
are
like
weird.
somebody that just for some reason they knew it was my birthday, that it weren't like my friend, and they were like, it was a waiter at a restaurant. Wow, how fitting, The Kitchen Table. And and I was okay, that stayed with me. So anyway, we return, and many happy returns. I'm sorry, I'm literally just wishing myself a happy birthday.
Many happy returns, Hugo. I've sung you happy birthday 3 times at this point, so it's not going to happen again.
Hey, look, so over that very stew, there was the song Happy Birthday sung not once but twice to me, which I thought was just lovely, but like so over the top.
Nah, it was fun for us.
I think that song is hilarious, and I also have this like funny little trivia fact about it, which has to do more so with the kind of the regular Happy Birthday song, which if you're into these kinds of things, you might know is copyrighted. So you almost never hear it in film and television because the people who own the like original Happy Birthday like don't sell the rights to anybody. So in a birthday scene in most film and television, there's like a stand-in song instead of Happy Birthday, or they just fully skip the singing scene. There'll be the candles. Often they do like for He's
a Jolly Good Fella.
Exactly,
yes.
right?
Okay.
And my favorite instance of stand-in song is this one by Altered Images, which plays in a very late season of Peep Show. And I feel like it's kind of, just like incredibly English, and that's why they've like thrown... maybe it was contemporary at the time. I didn't even... Oh, hold on. Happy Birthday, released in 1981, so it was not contemporary at the time, but that's just a little fun fact for you.
Super fun.
Wasn't going anywhere with that, but anyway. Happy birthday, everybody.
Many happy
Sure,
returns.
Many happy returns. It's time for some more music.
How about Two Tall Mountains? Like this or that?
In between two tall mountains, there's a place they call lonesome. Don't see why they call it lonesome. I'm never lonesome when I go there. See that bird sitting on my windowsill? Well, he's saying whippoorwill all the night through. See that brook running by my kitchen door? Well, it couldn't talk no more if it was you. Up that tree, there's sort of a squirrel thing. Sounds just like we did when we were quarreling. In the yard, I keep a pig or two. They drop in for dinner like you used to do. I don't stand in the need of company with everything I see talking like you. Up that tree, there's sort of a squirrel thing. Sounds just like we did when we were quarreling. You may think
you left me all alone, but I can hear you talk without a telephone. I don't stand in the need of company with everything I see talking like you. See that bird sitting on my windowsill, well, he's saying whippoorwill all the night through, just whippoorwill all the night through. In between two tall mountains there's a place they call lonesome. Don't see why they call it lonesome. I'm never lonesome, now I live there.
When did you write that?
That's Connie Converse with Two Tall Mountains. I love that song. It sounds really folksy, and if you have the chance again, or if you were listening particularly intently that time around, the lyrics are actually so sharply witty. They are just fantastic. It's basically about this kind of divorcee who runs away to a very, very rural place between two tall mountains or something like that. And then there are just all of these farm animals that keep her company. And she's like, why would I miss you, ex-lover? Like, I have all the company I could possibly need. And like, trust me, the pig, he drops in for dinner all the time. He's just like you used to be.
Oh God, it's like a utopian 1984. No, sorry, Animal Farm. Both.
Sure, in a way, yeah. Just fantastic. That one, I'm bringing this one to the table because it's kind of like something that has come up again and again in my listening over the last couple of months. So it's something to kind of a point to catch up over, Eva. I listened to this a lot in Vietnam when I was there in December. It's actually the opening track of a album. You might call it a compilation. I don't know. It's kind of Connie Converse has this very interesting biography, which I'm yet to learn deeply about. But I did see this one Reddit page, which has a long biography, but like, here is all you need to know. This is like the opening kind of like attention grab sentence, which says this: Elizabeth Connie Converse disappeared in 1974, leaving behind a haunting body of recorded music that would remain virtually unheard for the next 35 years.
Sorry, did she disappear as in from the music scene or from life?
From the world. A little bit like the voice in that song we just listened to. And it's amazing. And if you listen to this album in full, it is very, very just like living room recording, or maybe kitchen, and there is just some bloke like kind of just out of earshot, and occasionally you hear them. They can must be like
snippets.
Yeah, like there's like a producer or something. They're kind of talking about like, oh, and then some other friends kind of encouraging her to like, oh no, play this one. She's like, in between songs there are bits where she's like, no, I don't want to. I've not finished writing that one, and then she plays it anyway, and it's amazing. But that is a beautiful journey to go through, that compilation. It's called So Sad, So Lovely, I think. Goodness me, my research. And I was listening to it on the like 7.5 hour long bus ride from Hanoi to Sapa, which is like always like both times that I took that bus in either direction, like kind of like classic, like the anticipated time was like way shorter than the actual time that it took. So it was kind of like sitting in this little like sleeper bus, kind of just like cramped in there, listening to Connie Converse and just like staring out the window, watching the world go by, and just like
it's a strange experience. That yeah.
I feel like it might be a traveler's song. I don't know, in a way. I say this again because then more recently I took a little drive down the Great Ocean Road and I was like, I need to listen to some Connie Converse right now. And it was great. Beautiful soundtrack for like zipping along the Great Ocean Road. And it's kind of just like the countryside whizzing past you, and this is what you can see.
Was it nice, the Great Ocean Road?
Oh my goodness, fantastic.
Yeah?
It
What
was
did
so
you
lovely.
see? Did you make it to the Great Apostles?
Yes, the 12 apostles.
The great.
The great apostles. They're pretty great.
Are they? Last I was there weren't many left.
I think they're gradually falling into the ocean. But yeah, I guess this happens with kind of thousands of years of erosion. They were still standing when we were there. They're maybe skinnier than the first time we saw them.
Surely not all 12. I didn't think all 12.
Well, no,
was good.
okay, not all 12 of them. Yeah. Yeah, and return. So you come back home after your travels, and then this stays with you. The travel finishes, but the song just keeps playing. This is the kitchen table on Radio Fodder. I have to thank my friend Jacob for introducing me to that song, by the way. And that's my little segue. Thanks, Jacob. He's done some traveling of himself recently. He drove back to Brisbane. He was living down here for a while. Now he's back in Brisbane. I'm sure he might have listened to Connie Converse when he was driving in the car. He probably, much more likely, listened to this song when he was driving in the car. He introduced me to this song. I had heard it before, but he played it again more recently, and I was like, oh, I love the energy of this song. How did I forget it? I forgot about it because it has a very complicated history. But I've done enough talking. Let's listen to it. Let's hope the CDJ works.
I'm a pale imitator of a boy in the sky, with a cap in his head and a knot in his tie. I'm the light in the mile when the power is gone, the shadow in the corner just playing along. I'm only red in my beard, I'm rolling aside, but if I get a car, I'm roaming the ride, because I know if I ever share a living to you, you got a volunteer and you don't know what to do. You sigh. You wanna do it, but you don't know what to do, baby. I'm impregnable in kind of what I said in a quote. I'm a late Jim and riding on a heart and stuff. I got a Saturday night or nothing instead. And if I ever had to do it, well, you know I wouldn't care. I just take down. I love when I see it. Yeah, and if I want to talk back, the message is free. Then there's a fight, a raid, and out in the sun. And if you get parted, you get in my light, you get a heart. You wanna do it, but you don't know what to do, baby. Every time we try, we get nowhere. Wouldn't it be nice if we were just normal people? Yeah, trying so hard to act like we don't care. But it's true, you do. Nothing is left, so I guess I'm right. New word, automatopoeia. Boom, quit acting like you don't wanna be here. Fuck around and get jumped like Lee. Get a Glock in the glove, make you really wanna leave me alone. Get off the gone. Okay, back to the happy songs. Rap ain't nothing but an art of talking dish. My good look pretty up there around here. My plaid past, my solid future. Asinine ass and a gorgeous coochie. I'm an outcast, but you're into me. Summer got mad cause winter blooming. That juicy fruit, that's blucious blues. Generation X on bloop to bloop. Get duke, gotta get duke. Everybody hit the flow, we through the roof. Ha! Like a chimney, I commend me. How come it be some lame man? Nigga talking about, oh, he don't rap enough. Well, y'all rap a lot, and I'm like, wrap it up, ho. You ain't Scarface, you ain't Willie D, you ain't Bushwick, you ain't killing me. Better play with your mom, Michigan mama. Bet you still stay with your mom, Michigan mama. Keep sleeping on me, I'ma rock my pajamas. In the daytime, I swear, I promise. Dad, so can take some tail, take my face off. How come blacks don't play baseball? Y'all right, no, y'all can taste all this fly. I stay finna take off. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. You ain't fresh squeeze juice, you that tang. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Wait, you really slick, Rick? Nope, you ain't a dang. Bet it up, head her up, lava language and a vocal volcanic. If it ain't fixed, don't broke it, don't panic. If it ain't this, it ain't shit, get shammy. If it ain't this, it ain't dope, it don't flush. And if it ain't hip, it don't hop, it ain't hush. Man, they sound like, man, they stole yo, man, they look like nope, it ain't us. I do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Is you really slick, Rick? Nope, you ain't a dang. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. Do your damn thing, do your thing, a thing. You ain't fresh squeeze juice, you can do that thing. Every time we try, we get nowhere. Wouldn't it be nice if we were just normal people?
Wow.
The Kitchen Table on Radio Fodder. That was Do Your Thang by Gorillaz. Huge song, gotta tell you. That was the radio edit, you know. You know, there's actually a 13-minute long real version.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it descends into just kind of like screaming chaos. I think mostly at the hands of Andre 3000, who is one of the features on that one. The other is James Murphy from LCD Sound System, in collaboration with Gorillaz. Just an amazing trio. I mean, technically it's a quadruple act, because the other weird collaborator is Converse, because they released this...
Sorry, the shoe
The
brand.
shoe brand, because they released this song as like an ad for a special limited edition shoe that they made with Gorillaz. But that has now subsequently kind of come to haunt all lovers of this song, because Converse is like really tightly grasping onto the license of this track.
Art and capitalism, man.
So it, like, you can't get it on Spotify or anything like that. It's just like completely unavailable. So you can only kind of like go through strange internet rabbit holes to listen to this, which is completely, you know, asynchronous with your usual music listening workflow. Hey, just like Radio Fodder.
No, we are completely asynchronous with everyone's listening patterns.
It's so lovely to get a couple of messages on our little chat line, if you want to call it that.
we have a little button on, or a little section on our computer where we can see how many people are listening. We've had like close to 20 at many points throughout this.
A big dinner party worth of people.
Yeah, so thanks for sitting down with us.
Just lovely.
We want to know who you are. Who are you guys?
Who are
Tell
you?
us. Contact us at thekitchentable.radio.
.radio.
I forgot that part. On Instagram.
Hey, let's listen to one more track before we finish up, hey?
Yeah.
From the newly accessible and simply beautiful Radio Fodder vinyl library.
Oh, there's so much new vinyl. It's exciting, guys.
Jump again! Here we go! I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. I done tried. I can't get me no, oh no, and I can't get no, oh no. When I'm around in my heart, and the man comes on the radio, he keeps telling me more and more about that useless information. He's trying to mess up my imagination, and I can't get me no, oh no, and I can't. Hey, we got the groove, or we got to have it. We got to have it. We got to have it. Keep on grooving, keep on grooving, keep on grooving. I know not a baby. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. I done tried, God. I done try, I can't get no, oh no, and I can't get no, oh no, Lord, baby, keep on moving and rolling now, keep on rocking, baby, yeah, gotta have it, you gotta hold your wake all time, thinking it's good, gotta put me down, I keep on walking right in my sleep, keep on messing up, ain't me, keep on trying to find somebody to love me. Give me some reaction. I can't find nobody. Oh no, nobody. Give me no action. We got to have it. Satisfaction. We got to have it. Satisfaction. Early in the morning. Won't satisfaction. Late in the evening. Won't satisfaction. Break it down. Give it to me. Let me have it. Give me some. Want me some. Give it to me. Let me have me some. Faction. Give it to me. Faction. Give me some. Faction. Got it. Satisfaction. We got to get
Otis Redding singing I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Just fantastic.
So good. He can't get no satisfaction, but we sure can, because this was a damn fine, satisfying return.
Wholly satisfied. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to Wally for sending in your very
Yay,
lovely
Wally from
message.
work. Wally, who works at my bar, Miss Moses on Sydney Road, a devoted listener.
Thank you. Thank you to dedicated listeners. Eva, it's been lovely returning and talking about returns with you this afternoon.
It was a bit of a hectic... Thematically, we were all over the place,
Seriously.
but that's good because
I've been my fingertips have been trembling at the controls.
Oh, you've done so well. There were little blips, but none of you heard them because Hugo did so well.
Teamwork.
Yeah,
truly.
yeah.
Make sure you tune in, folks. We'll be here every Wednesday now
From 4 to 5.
From 4 till 5. The Kitchen Table, the nearly dinner time show, where you tune in for good food, music, and conversation.
Yes.
Exciting things planned for the future. Like I said, stay tuned. Is that everything we had to say?
I think it is. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be back with more things. Huzzah!
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Well, the clock says it's time to close now. I know